Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Coming in early tonight, to take over for Trish, who's not doing a show tonight. So I decided to come on, not at midnight, to come and hang out with you. For the people who can't make it to the early or to the late show throughout the week, so we get to hang out a little earlier tonight. Hey DJ, good to see you. Shasta, Laura T's here, Gayla, Marilyn Landis. Who else? Diane Marie, Mr. James Avery's here. Moonlight View, hello. I Hate Mornings, Betty C, Sienna's here. Texas Roadrunner, Moon Shadow. You like the early show? I mean, so I'm off for the next month. So we may go back to having some Eastern time zone friendly shows over the summer, over the Christmas break. So you guys will be able to have some more earlier shows, especially when we're in Tasmania. Danny Mitchell, good to see you. RX Girl, hey, how's it going? By the way, Mrs. Ping has been very excited this morning. She's been looking up things to do in Tasmania, and she wants to go see Tasmanian devils. So she wants to head up to a place that I don't know, it's a sanctuary for them. So she wants to go see Tasmanian devils while we're in the country. In the country? In the state. Yeah, she wants to go feed them. Apparently they have like a feeding thing. So this guy, look, there he is. One of these. And apparently they have patamelons there. Patamelons. So she wants to go see the Tasmanian devils and the patamelons. So we do have a couple of days off where we're not doing family things. So she wants to go hang around and go see the animals. So we might do that. It's about an hour away from where we're staying. Hey, Moonlight View, Texas Roadrunner. Oh, you're usually sleeping? Well, I'm glad the people who are not able to get the late show are here tonight. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Who else is here? Is Betty C here? Was she here? Betty C. Hello, my sweet friend. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your donation the other night. I saw it. I don't know if you got to hear it on the replay crew, but I did say hello to you and thank you. And thank you for your message. It's so kind. I appreciate it. I hope everything's going better for you too. All right. Enough patamelons and whatever this guy's called, the Tasmanian devil. Do you guys know what a patamelon is? I didn't know. She's like, we can see patamelons. And I'm like, what is that? I don't know what it's like a kangaroo. It's like a tiny kangaroo. What is it? Patamelon. Yeah, he's like a tiny little kangaroo thing. Here, I'll show you a photo. Look at this. Imagine. Wait to get your adorableness out. Here he is. This is a patamelon. So he's like a tiny version of a kangaroo. He's like a miniature. He's like a miniature. So if you collect miniatures, you could get one of these and put it on a shelf. So we want to go see the patamelons and the Tasmanian devils. Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm glad that's going better for you, my friend. It's like a wallaby. No, it's smaller than that. It's really, really tiny. So yeah, he's like a tiny, tiny kangaroo. Like a mix between a kangaroo and I don't know, a quokka. Like a mix between a kangaroo and a quokka. All right. Enough Australian wildlife. We can do that later this week. Anyway, the park we're going to, they do allow live streaming. So we're going to go feed the Tasmanian devils. So you guys will get to see us feed them. That'll be fun. It's like travel true crime blog. It'll be interesting. Lindy, good to see you. Penguin? Yeah, hi Penguin. A clocker? No, a quokka with a Q. A quokka. What are they called? A quokka. No, that's not how you do it. They're those ones that you see where people like take photos of them and they smile and that. You would have seen this photo of that. Is this idiot who does those disappearing ads on Samsung? There you go. Here's that famous photo that everyone's seen before. That's a quokka. That's an Australian. What is he, like a marsupial or something? A marsupial. He's very Steve Irwin. A kangaroo and a chihuahua hybrid? Yeah. All right. Let's get into the true crime because that's more important. Let's go to the CEO updates, the shooting updates. There are some interesting variables that have presented themselves in the last 12 hours. So I'm going to bring you this update that was posted only in the last half an hour from KTLA 5, and then I'll go to a different article.
Elsewhere, it has been now 3 days since that gunman calmly assassinated an insurance executive on a New York City street. Evidence has piled up, but he has yet to be identified publicly. Police are certain, though, that that suspect left the city as soon as an hour after the killing, and now they have a wide dragnet to hopefully hunt him down.
Although evidence has poured in, the suspect's identity is still unknown at this hour. Angelique Hockaday joins us live from the KTLA News Center with more about the investigation. Angelique.
Rick and Corrine, New York City Mayor Eric Adams telling reporters earlier today that the net is tightening, of course, referring to police closing in on the man who they believe killed the CEO, Brian Thompson. Now, this as police used divers and drones today to search for the murder weapon in Central Park. And last night, the FBI announced it was offering a $50,000 reward for any information that led to an arrest. Now, yesterday, a big break in the case after police found the backpack seen on the shooter as he gunned down Thompson before fleeing on an e-bike and making his way through Central Park, heading uptown, though it's still unclear what was found inside. Now, even as police maintain that the shooter likely left the city an hour after the shooting by bus on Wednesday, the mayor reassuring America and New York tonight they're getting closer to finding him.
The manner in which they were able to follow his footsteps to recover evidence, some of it is known, some of it is unknown. But the net is tightening, and we're going to bring this person to justice.
I feel like they're trying to, keep themselves remaining very positive and very upbeat. They're like, yes, we definitely know who it is. This imaginary net is tightening. It's getting tighter every day. I do a press conference once a day, and I say every day that the net is tightening. Remember that net will eventually get him. It seems like they're just talking like rubbish. Yeah, I have seen some interesting, I don't know, conspiracy theories. That's concerning, my friend. I don't know why that would happen. Were you listening on a headphone while sleeping? I have heard some interesting stuff. Someone brought it up in the chat saying that Gayla's son says the jacket and the backpack being two different people. I have seen people mention this before, that they believe that the guy in the CCTV that smiles or whatever is completely different from the guy that's riding the bike. And I was like, you think there's more than one person involved here? Did they get the wrong person? There was a report that came out a few hours ago that internally within the FBI and the NYPD that they do have a name, but they're not releasing it publicly. I don't know if that is more, smoke and mirrors, and they're all like, yes, we definitely have a name, many names, we have a computer that's full of names. We definitely have names. I don't know if that's what's going on, or they really do know who the guy the guy is. Different pockets, different colors on the backpack. We can have a look at that. Let me see if I can find a comparison photo for you. All right. Yeah, okay, here. So is this the photo you're talking about? The one from the shooting? Yeah, I wonder if it'll play, like, let us look at it. It was the cover photo for this one, but I don't know if they'll... Yeah, is this the one you're talking about here? Where you can see the backpack here and the one he's wearing? This one does look more like mostly cream with some darker, portions on it. And you can see some slightly different markings over here, but, it's so pixelated, it's hard to tell. But I've heard other people say that they think it's a different person based on the smiling photo and one of the other masked photos. You all think 2 men were involved. I don't think anything. I'm just reporting. If you use outside and the one in the hostel, the outside and the one in the hostel. Okay. Oh, here, this one. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can grab that photo. Oh, everything's being a jerk. Shush. There's this one too. That's the one where he's smiling. The smiling assassin. Let me see if I can find a different one. I think those ones are probably the best ones. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you are all right. But there was NBC last night actually put out a video about true crime or like internet sleuths. Oh, hold on. You can't see. Internet sleuths. They were saying a lot of the people that do shows like mine are refusing to use their like intellect and what we know about true crime to hunt him down because we want this Robin Hood figure to win. I don't know about you, but I actually think it's a indictment on the general public's feelings on the health system in America. And I think it's not so much that true crime people are not wanting to cover it. I think it's more the fact that no one cares. No one cares as much. It's not like, oh my God, an 11-year-old girl died and we should catch the, deranged serial killer and everyone's really invested. And I think people are like, you've been stealing money from the friggin' general public for decades and you've been squeezing every last dime out of everyone. You've been cutting off services for people and denying claims, making it more stressful for everyone, when if you pay your money per month, you should just be bloody covered. And I think it shows you what the general consensus across America really is. Like, people hate it. People hate the healthcare system. A lot of people don't want a universal system, but they want something better than what is going on now. Yeah, why is it you blamed us for the Boston Marathon thing? Why are we gonna come and help you now? Why? So you can come and blame us again? Danny Mitchell says, "I heard people act like this guy had it coming." I don't know if he had it coming. I don't know if that's a fair way of people to look at it, but I feel like there's not a massive investment to be, like, calling in about this guy, because people are not, that sympathetic to the CEO. I think they just see it as people, stealing from the general public. Background object is also the same. Oh my God, we figured it out. We used our true crime skills. Oh, we won. We won. We have won the internet. Let me see if I can get a different one for you. No, that's a quokka. We don't want that. No, that's also a quokka. Let me see if we can get a different one from outside here. So this is the photo they brought up. Here's that backpack they found in the park. I don't know. Do you think it looks different compared to the other ones they've shown? The images of him wearing it on the bike and stuff like that? I don't know. It looks similar. Hold on. Let me see if we can find a production model. Like, so there you go. There's the guy wearing it, and there he is on the bike. That's the only thing I would say is it looks a little more square in the first photo. I don't know if that's because it's got more stuff in it, but if you look at this one looks more flat. It's not as like the width is not the same. This one more looks like a school backpack. Like those typical school backpacks that you would throw all your books in or whatever, like the old style one. That's sort of what that looks like, right? And this more looks like that photography backpack. It could be the same one, just more things in it. But James Avery says, I think the backpack was staged. considering the amount of effort they've gone through to write things on the bullet, to leave the Monopoly money and, travel from friggin' Philadelphia 10 days beforehand. It wouldn't surprise me if there was either more people helping or there was more to it. Sales for the jacket he's wearing has increased. That always happens in these type of news events. Lindy says, I think it's camera distortion and different lighting on a lot of these photos that look different. Could be because, perspective and angle can make things look different. James Avery says, it's all a game. Is it the guy from Saw? Is he back? Is this all a media marketing stunt for Saw 27? Is that what this is? The return. Is this what this is all about? Do we all have to play a game? Texas Roadrunner says, are they searching the lake for the gun? They did a search in the lake today. They were dredging it. I don't know what for. Yes, we had that on the show the other night. Yeah, let me see if I can find some information about the lake being searched today. Yeah, divers were searching the lake here. I don't know if this will cover it. Yeah.
Killer. Why NYPD dragged the lake in Central Park and what they hope to find. Good evening. I'm Alan Devlin. Jessica Moore is off. NYPD divers were seen searching the lake in Central Park this afternoon after they recovered the backpack of the person of interest yesterday. It comes as the FBI is turning up the heat, offering a $50,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. Derek Waller joins us live in the park with what we're learning here tonight. Derek.
Alan, good evening to you. And a busy afternoon here in the park. The NYPD had their dive team in the lake behind me earlier this afternoon. In addition to that search, we've also learned a little bit more about what was in that backpack that they found here in this same area yesterday. We've learned from police sources that there was actually a jacket in that backpack, but the search for the murder weapon continues. Now, take a look at this video. This is a video from the Citizen app showing the police tape on this southern end of the lake, an iconic area that's been in many movies, popular with tourists. Eyewitnesses say they didn't see the police leave with anything. It was also around this same area yesterday that cops found a backpack they believe belonged to the suspect that's now being analyzed in a crime lab. Police say the suspect, who they have not yet named, was on camera entering the Port Authority bus terminal in Washington Heights right after that shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson Wednesday morning. And they say he has now likely left the city. Now, in a moment, you're going to hear from Mayor Eric Adams, who says police know the guy's name but are not sharing it publicly. But first, an eyewitness on what she saw this afternoon.
This corner, not a big area, but this corner was blocked off with probably 5 policemen, 1 van, and then we saw scuba gear and a couple divers getting in and just kind of splashing around, looking only in this area.
I like her descriptions. So it was only this area here. They sort of hopped in like children in a puddle and sort of just splashed around a little bit. Not over there, but just sort of over here. She's great descriptions. I hope you're a English major at a university. It says here, hey TYO, how are you? Yeah. Delay, deny, defend. Book is sold. They sold out? I think it was out of print as well. I thought it was released in just after the financial crash in 2008. So I think it was something to do with, back then. I would be surprised if there was 1 billion copies around. Look, there you go. Search in the Lake. And then they had this one, which everyone already knows, but I'll show it to you anyway. Where is it? Yeah. So they say the backpack recovered by the NYPD that allegedly belonged to the suspect wanted in the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson only had 2 items inside: a Tommy Hilfiger jacket and Monopoly money. What's with the Hilfiger jacket? Is Tommy Hilfiger in some sort of conspiracy with healthcare? We're going to find this out later, aren't we? And we're all going to go, oh my God, the clues were there all along. Sources with knowledge told the ABC. I don't understand. Someone in the chat said Coffin Daffer said the Monopoly money was counterfeit. Why? What is she trying to buy with Monopoly money exactly? I mean, she could buy a house or a hotel. She might go and collect some money. I'm not exactly sure if she's what, like, did they make it and they're like we can't afford real Monopoly money, too expensive. So we're going to download it from the internet and then cut it up and put it in the backpack. Is that what they mean it's counterfeit? I'm not sure. Can you really have counterfeit Monopoly money? I don't know how that works. Changed his jacket. Yeah, I just wanted to know if there was any significance with Tommy Hilfiger. It's an expensive jacket to just throw away, right? And people saying that the backpack was quite expensive as well. Oh, you were joking? I would not put it past her to say something like that. Yeah, she might be able to get out of jail. Glitter said, that's what I was thinking. What the hell is counterfeit Monopoly money? It's not even real money. We're going to get our best, fraud squad investigators on this. We'll find out who's been printing this fake Monopoly money, ruining families' game days across the nation. It's corruption at the highest order. It looked nice. Yeah, the jacket did. The guy was very well dressed, like not what you think of for someone that's going out to do this type of assassination type murder. It's not like you're not like dressing up in like brand name jackets and a $300 backpack, and it's expensive. Coffin Dapper also posted a video and said it wasn't AI today. She's not known for reliability. I think back in the day she used to be quite good, and she had some really good intake and insight from her FBI days, and I like that part of her. I think her consistent commentary on other things is annoying. Not her being annoying. I think it's more the fact that they constantly ask her for input, and I just don't know how far like her knowledge base goes with that. So I wouldn't be surprised if she slips up on things every now and then. Temu purchase. It's not a real Coffin Daffer. It's not a real Coffin Daffer. It's not a real Temu. It's an AI. A Starbucks fan. I've never drunk Starbucks in my life. I don't think I've ever had. No, I don't think I ever have. Hey, Permaculture Kiwi and Natasha. Good to see you guys. That's a new one. Yeah, I never heard of counterfeit Monopoly money. All right. Let's go back here. Let's go here. Yeah, so they also saying they have not yet recovered the gun used in the shooting. If I had to guess, I really would have thought that might be the thing they found in the backpack. Um, but I guess serial numbers on a gun are probably more evidence than say a jacket. So I would have thought maybe they would have found the weapon. I think if they were dredging that lake, they were probably hoping to find the firearm, because most people, when they want to get rid of a firearm, will throw it into water because they think no one will ever look there, because apparently water is just, it's like lava. You're not allowed to go in it. They say here, some New York investigators have arrived in Atlanta on Saturday following tips that have come in about the shooter, according to sources. The Atlanta PD confirmed the arrival of a New York team, but declined to give more specifics. Do you think we know he came from Atlanta on the bus, on the Greyhound. Do you think he would be dumb enough to go back to Georgia? Do you guys really think he'd be stupid enough to go back to the place he came from? I have a feeling that if that is indeed the case and they find him in or around Atlanta, then he's more stupid than we all thought. Because the idea would be to go somewhere away from where you've already been. You think it was a red herring? Can't drink it. Oz has good coffee. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I can't drink. I've never had Starbucks in my life. I think they said they know where the gun was purchased. I don't know if they ever verified it, but they said it was purchased in Virginia. I'll have to double check in a second, but you reckon it's long gone? All right. If you're in New York, great city, got a wonderful like culture. Everyone knows what the city is like. And you have two options, right? You can go to Central Park and you can throw the gun in a tiny little pond or lake in Central Park. Or you can go to this giant thing called the ocean and throw it in the ocean where it'd be much harder to find. Which one would you prefer to do? Connecticut. Sorry, yeah, Connecticut. That you can just blame that on me being Australian. How would they know if they don't have it? I'm not sure how they tracked it down. I think because it's a rarer type of gun, there probably hasn't been as many sales of it, over a period. So they might have been able to track through federal database of how many have been sold recently or where, because they're saying it's a pretty not super rare. I've heard that you can buy one today if you want one, but they're not like ultra common. What about the sewer? I'd rather drop it in the ocean, sort of very Titanic, where she's like 84 years old and she goes to the bow of the boat or whatever, or the wharf or wherever she was, and she just has that $1 billion necklace and she's like, ah, and she throws it off the edge and it goes to the depths with her lover. I mean, you could do that with the gun. You could Titanic it off the edge of the pier. Yeah, well, if you could get it through some sort of back channels, that would be good. I would melt it down. Yes, we all have a smelter at home, and we're able to, turn metals into liquid, like we're some sort of alchemist. Yep, I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, I shot a guy. I need to melt down the gun. Let me get my my metal smelter out, break it down into components. Glitter says also bullets have a print on them that manufacturers keep on each one. It's like a fingerprint. Do they? I didn't know that. I know that they can do rifling from a gun that makes individual marks on a bullet. We all know that. I didn't know that the manufacturer keeps one like a fingerprint. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That'd be very annoying being a bullet manufacturer. Every time they go through the line, they'd have to like take a photo of each one. I guess you could do it with a camera. One of those like when you're in a factory, they have those ultra fast cameras that look for imperfections. You could use that. Yes, that is true. All right, melt it down. Calm down. All right, let's go here. Brian Thompson. Let's go here. FBI offers $50,000 in information. Funny how that money just came out of nowhere. I'm just trying to find this story. Yeah, let's go to Pix 11 News. This was posted only 10 minutes ago.
Investigators are ramping up efforts to find additional evidence as they try to find the man seen on surveillance video gunning down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson Wednesday morning. The NYPD dive team conducting a search of the water by the Central Park fountain Saturday, a stunning sight for park goers.
I saw people in the water in the pond, just flipping around. They had their flippers on. A couple divers, I want to say, just looking. And there was a police van here taped off this corner.
The search for more evidence comes just one day after NYPD officers found a backpack in the park that they believe was left behind by the killer. Sources confirmed to Pix 11 News that a gun was not found inside the backpack. Detectives have also been using drones to search for clues and combing through hours of surveillance video. Mayor Eric Adams speaking briefly to reporters about the investigation Saturday while at a children's holiday party in Harlem.
This was a fully masked person that
All right, this guy literally sounds like he's had way too many edibles and he's talking in slow motion. So I'm going to not play his portion of it. But I will take you here on the Guardian. They did an opinion, an opinion piece here. I hate to bring it to you because it says the week in patriarchy, which sounds very feminist, but sure. It says here, Brian Thompson's death has elicited little sympathy, and I don't need to spell out why. And then you see stuff like this: healthcare is a human right. I don't look unless your government is going to like fund everything to 100%, then healthcare is never going to be 100% like free or whatever. You're going to have some business element of it. Otherwise, your hospitals are going to be third world hospitals in about 10 years. You're going to have like rundown hospitals that don't like do anything. So you would have to change the entire healthcare system in America. They're saying here, memeing a murder. They said if you spotted the person who shot Brian Thompson, would you A, turn them into police, or B, continue to go your merrily about your day? That's very interesting. I'd like to hear from everyone here. What would you do? Because it's been about, what, 4 days, 3 days? Someone out there in a city of millions, especially at that time in the morning in New York and in Central Park, someone has seen that guy. Like, they have to have. It's not a thing where they're like, oh my God, it's in the middle of New Mexico. You know, there's not a person for 100 miles. He just got away and no one ever saw him. There has to have been hundreds of sightings of this guy. And it is interesting that while they are getting tips, they're not getting a ton of information that's really being able to brought this to a close very quickly. Laura T says, I would turn him in. Marilenda says, turn him in and get the reward money. You split it with me though, okay? I want a finder's fee of 10%. Rachel says they can trace certain rifling on a bullet. Yeah, I heard they can, but I don't know how that works for if it's past a certain date, like when it came into law, if it's a voluntary thing with manufacturers, like I don't know. Glitter says something like that was bound to happen though, because people are sick of being taken advantage of by the rich and elite. It's like we were talking about last night. By the way, I had a couple people emailing me yesterday saying I was trying to beg people for donations yesterday. No, I wasn't. I was trying to demonstrate that, like, I'm just like you guys. Like, I have my own issues that I have to deal with. It's not here to garner any sympathy or anything. I was just trying to demonstrate that things here are bonkers too. Like Australia isn't immune from it. We are copying it here as well. Yeah, I understand that, and I've seen some commentary where people say, you know, this was like it was due. It was almost like some people are saying it's about time that people push back against a system that has taken so much from people's lives. You know, I read about 50 different stories last night where people talked about having parents in hospitals and being told that unless they can come up with $150,000 in cash, they're not going to get this life-saving surgery that they need for an aneurysm, a brain surgery, like cancer treatment, that type of thing. And that's heartbreaking to read. It is no surprise that there would be many angry people, across the nation who feel like they've been hard done by the health insurance industry. All right, I'll share it with you. Yeah, I hope not, because I really focus on not doing that. And I never want to get that reputation. You know, it's not the type of channel I want to run. Glitter says, or having to choose whether or not to feed your children or get chemo. And I feel like, is the system broken if people are having to make that choice? As some people will say, America is built on capitalism and the chance to, you know, bat for 1,000 and take all the money. And that's sort of like like one of the things America's great for is capitalism. And then there's other people that are saying, well, it goes too far, and that when everyday people can't get the medical treatment they need, then it's no longer about capitalism and it's about greed. So I can see both sides of it. Yeah, I think maybe some things don't go far enough to help. Are these the same people who think Daniel Penny should go to prison? I've just seen the commentary. I don't know who they are. I don't know what their political beliefs are, or what their indictment on different true crime stories are. Look, I don't know what's going to happen with that. Like I said last night, I wouldn't be shocked if it went either way. It seems like when you already have a deadlocked jury, you have an issue. Either someone didn't present the prosecution didn't present their case well enough, or the defense did a better job than the prosecution, and now you have a split panel, and that's very hard to overcome. Um, I also heard some commentary last night from the Penny thing that what the judge did in this case is actually probably going to get Daniel Penny a retrial at a later date because he overstepped his authority. So we'll see. We'll see. Glitter says, I think Daniel Penny should go to prison. I'm disgusted they withdrew those charges because they are trying to force a hand at making him go to prison. They often do this, though. They did this in the Delphi one. About 8 months before trial, they added charges of a lesser extent that the jury could find him guilty of. So either way, he would go to prison. I don't really know. Like I said, I haven't been following. The only time I've seen the Daniel Penny stuff is the things we watched last night and the original video. I've not been following the trial at all. Sienna says, I agree with you. I'm also disgusted with the judge allowing the charge to be removed. Interesting. Dutch Bros Better Coffee, the Annihilate. I don't know what that is. Is that a brand of coffee? I think we are sick of corruption and greed. I think when people go to the grocery store and they're like, they understand that last year when they went to the grocery store, it cost them $70 to feed their family for whatever, how long, few days or whatever. And then now this year it's costing them $125. It eats into other parts of people's lives when wage growth isn't following the same trajectory as the inflation. So you got people getting less for their money than they did, 24 months ago. And then they've got other charges, like everything's gone up. Rachel says Daniel Penny should never have been charged. This drop charges is to force a conviction. People are really not going to help now. Yeah. I ask you this. I've seen this question asked. Like I said, I'm not following the trial, but I'll ask you guys because you all seem to know more about it than I do. The guy, the black fellow who was killed a couple of years ago during COVID, that had the cop that knelt on his neck. He was charged and convicted of killing that guy, right? And now we have this case with Daniel Penny. Do you think that if you think Daniel Penny should go free, that you're also saying that cop should go free? I heard someone asking that question last night, but I don't know the answer to it. TYO Toy says, Ping, do you have Dunkin' Donuts? No, we don't have Dunkin' Donuts here. I know the company, but we don't have it here. Yes, we're going soon in a few days. So we're leaving middle of this week or so. So yeah, we're going not too far away, my friend. We'll be streaming live from Tasmania next weekend. And on the Friday, we're going to draw that massive raffle that we've been collecting names for like a month now. So all those people, I've got all their names. I saved it to my email. If any more come in the next few days, I'll add them. And I've got them so we can take them to Tasmania. And we'll be drawing that in Tassie. Sienna says, all they want to do is put Daniel Penny in jail. They don't care about justice. I I actually believe by removing those charges, you're not giving him a fair chance at justice or a fair chance in the justice system. And if you feel the need to do that to remove a deadlocked jury, then you really need to call a mistrial and you need to go back and I don't know, you could try again or you could release it and say that it was deadlocked. You shouldn't try and fix a deadlocked jury with removing charges. And I think that's probably going to come up in an appeal if he does get found guilty. They'll probably go appeal that, and they'll say on a technicality, and they'll get it forced to retrial. Because I can't imagine that's that'll go lightly should he be convicted. It's very sad. Good Samaritans are hard to find today because of stuff like this. That is true. Texas Roadrunner says, "How do we enter for the drawing membership chat?" Super chat or the donation links right here. Either one. I think we said we do $5 equals one entry. So we tried to make it as cheap as we can for everyone. So we gave everyone an opportunity. Some people email me. They're like, "Ping, you should make it $20 each," and I'm like, I'm not going to do that to people. Like, it's so bad out there. What kind of balls would I have to be like, yeah, $20 everyone? Like, no. Gala says he knew a better hold, but used one that killed. I mean, that's where you have to rely on your defense and your prosecution to detail that enough that you convince our jury. And if your jury is deadlocked, then they don't believe in that evidence to be able to say, hey, one way or the other. So that's up to the prosecution. And if they didn't run a great case, then you end up with what we have in Melbourne. Do you guys remember that? We had the guy who killed the two elderly campers, and we ended up with a split verdict. We ended up with a not guilty of murder on one and guilty of murder on the other. And they blamed it on the prosecution because the prosecution couldn't outline their theory and evidence correctly to the jury. And the jury said that's why they almost found him completely not guilty on it. They almost ruined their own case. So it's interesting, James. James says, when a police officer arrests you, they're taking responsibility for your safety. A citizen does not have that. But do they have a duty of care, even though because you inserted yourself into the situation? Do you have a duty of care if you're trying to citizen arrest or restrain someone until law enforcement arrives at the train? I would say that probably under the law, you would have some sort of duty of care if you're making some sort of a citizen arrest. Rachel says, as a completely different example, my hubby used to help people out of a ditch in the winter. We wouldn't do that now, just offer our phone and make sure they're okay. I don't want to get sued. Yeah, wasn't there a lady just a couple of weeks ago who tried to sue someone who commenced CPR on her, saved her life, but cracked a rib, and she ended up having a punctured lung or something. And she tried to sue the Good Samaritan who saved her life from, I think it was a heart attack, something like that. I can't remember. She ended up being unconscious, and the guy committed or started CPR, but ended up cracking a rib, and it punctured some part of her body, and it caused a bunch of complications. And the dude was like, if I didn't help you, you'd already be dead. Like, why are you suing me? Suzanne Simpson update from SA. DNA found on saw that husband attempted to hide, sources say. I'll have a look at that in a second. Actually, on my screen right here, while we're talking about these two cases, if I can grab it. I just had this up earlier. I was going through it. If I can... Here. I was just going through this myself before we got on the show. So this is the sealed arrest warrant for Brad Simpson. I was going through this just before we jumped on the show. So we can have a look at this in a minute, and we can talk about that interesting update about a saw So we can have a look at this. This is his. This was the one that was sealed and then released. I think it was like a week ago. So probably a lot of this is known, but we can have a look. But yeah, funny you bring that up. I was just going through that document. Suzanne Simpson. Let me have a look at that. Who was the reporter on that, Texas? Was that KHOU? I found it here. It's okay. Shall we change subject from the divisive topic? Although I think it's an interesting ethical talk between people. I like the fact that we can talk about this type of stuff and we don't get everyone's not here bitching and complaining and screaming at each other in capitals, and we can have a very adult conversation about a very difficult topic. That's the way these type of channels should be run. Anyone that tries to railroad their opinion over other people, including their chat, I think they're doing a disservice to YouTube, true crime, the internet, the world. Like the way good conversation and debate happens is by listening to your other party and seeing what they have to say. If you can't do that, then that's what we call closed-minded and bias. You have confirmation bias, basically. Moonlight View says, I always jump into action to resolve extreme situations. I'm the flare girl on the highway. I'm pretty sure she may wear a Superwoman costume. They found the woman? Oh, I've been checking on that every day, and the one day I don't check, they find her. Hold on. Oh, they found her? Is she dead? Oh, no. Hold on. Sinkhole. Oh, no. Yeah, she's dead. That's really sad. Oh, that's not what I was hoping for, but I think they knew after about 2 days, they realized that the oxygen level, without them pumping extra oxygen into the sinkhole, basically there was no hope of survival. That they knew that the conditions and the oxygen quality was so low that she probably would have passed out a long time ago, way before they even got there. Like they were saying that it took them so long to dig down into that area and start looking that she probably would have died within about 10 minutes because of the oxygen level being so low. That's very sad. Yeah, I haven't seen this either. Let's watch it.
Me that's connected to this garage is right in the area where that sinkhole, which was about the size of a manhole, opened up where Elizabeth Pollard fell into the ground and into an abandoned mine. This whole area had to be dug up by crews so they could reach her body.
Today was a blessing from God.
That's how crews are feeling today after finding the body of Elizabeth Pollard after searching for more than 80 hours over the span of more than 3 days. Crews said they were starting to feel deflated and were concerned a reunion for the family and Pollard wasn't going to happen.
I couldn't have been more happy for the family that we were able to find her, because that was the only thing that they were concerned with.
Pollard was found 30 feet below the ground, 12 feet away from the area where the initial sinkhole opened beneath her feet while she was searching for her cat.
When she fell through the shaft and she landed and struck that mound of, like, we'll call it like Hershey Kiss, it appears that she rolled or moved that 12 feet or so where our initial spot was.
Troopers say crews with Ligonier Contracting dug more than 4 times the area around the initial sinkhole to find Pollard after the plan to have rescuers going down into the mine had to change. They also weren't able to send anyone down into the mine today to recover Pollard's body.
We used machinery instead of sending folks down into the hole and into the mine structure itself, because as we were still working, today we still had collapse of the mine roof and mine sides.
Now the work starts on filling this hole back up and making sure the mine is shored up and secure.
For lack of better terms, it's almost like the pumping of what appears to be concrete into the mines. They call it a grouting of some sort. They're talking about doing it in the very near future.
The coroner is performing an autopsy to determine how Pollard died. Reporting.
If it came back as asphyxiation, I wouldn't be surprised. They were saying that when they got there, they put a probe down to test the air quality, and it came back like basically it was full of gases and trapped air that had been down there for a long time, and like the fresh air quality was just minimal. So if she died very quickly from asphyxiation, I mean, I wouldn't be that surprised. Yeah, I feel bad for the grandchild too. How sad. Not like you think about like we live in mining towns like this place. I'm sure there's people in the chat where your town has a very big mining history, especially dating back to like the 1800s or earlier, even some early 1900s. Even in Australia, do you guys remember when that lady went missing in Ballarat? That is a giant mining town. Like it is known as the gold rush area of my state. And people are still finding gold out there today. A guy found $1 million nugget about a year ago in the same location where she went missing. And there's hundreds of mines like this under that particular town. So I reckon it's probably a fear a lot of people have that, water or, earth moving, other drilling has made the surface level weaker than it should be, and you might fall through. I mean, I'm sure it's a fear of a lot of people who live in old mining towns. Nanalana says, if our cats got out, I'm not chasing them across yards and fields. Too many snakes here in Tennessee. That sounds like a good plan, though. Your local area has tons of mines. Gayla, I was watching a documentary about crime in Scotland last night, and I didn't know this, but apparently Glasgow has the largest amount of knife crime anywhere in Europe. Doesn't like more than London, more than just name any other country in Europe. They have the most stabbings ever. Apparently, if you ask any person under 50 in Glasgow, have you been stabbed? Apparently, 2 out of 5 men have had knife injuries to their face or their body, and I was like, that is insane. 2 out of 5. Nalana said the city of Louisville is built on caves besides the river. I didn't know that about Louisville. Gayla says, I don't like Glasgow. You should watch that documentary. It's called... Here, I'll look it up for you so I can get you the title. It's something like the knife epidemic in Scotland. Knife epidemic. See if I can find it for you. I'll find it. I'll post it in the Facebook. I'll post it in the Facebook for you. Hey, my friend. Hey, Avalon. Oh, that's very kind of you, my sweet friend. Where have you been? I miss you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well, Avalon. Haven't seen you in ages. Hope everything is keeping you well. Oh, I love when Avalon Apples jumps in the chat. So kind. Marilyn Lander says, my deceased was born in... My deceased? Oh, your husband? Was born in Glasgow in Scotland. Yeah, I will find that documentary and I'll post it on the Facebook page, Nights with Ping, and I'll post it on the Twitter too. Really interesting. I had no idea that it had a higher knife crime rate than London, because London's got their own knife problems with the youth. I had no, imagine that 2 in 5 young men have either been stabbed in the face and have scarring in their face or mouth from being stabbed with a knife, or they have it on their body. That must be dreadful to have to live in a place where the chance of you being stabbed before the age of 30 is about if it's 2 in 5, it's like a 40% chance. You have a 40% chance in your generation of men to be attacked. That is bonkers. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Is that like a Scottish thing to hit people in the face? It's also certain parts of Glasgow. I think it's near the housing projects. That's what they said in the documentary. There's all these like housing projects, and like one housing project over here, they don't like the one that lives over there. And if you cross the road, they'll stab you. And I'm like, wow, that is pretty, like, why would you do that? Yeah, I know. I love Avalon. It's so good to see her. Okay, I'll look it up. We'll all watch it together. I'll put it on the Facebook for everyone. It's called Mars Bar. They had a different name for it. They call it that he got chefed up. So I don't know what chefed up means, but I think because they use kitchen knives. No, I don't believe so. I think it was only knife crime, Robbie. It's a rebellion. It could be. All right. Simple, stop crossing the road. But like, I think what they were saying in the documentary is the housing estate over here doesn't have their own, corner store or a gas station, and the gas station, all that is on the other side. So if they want to go to the shops or whatever, they have to cross the road. Yeah, so hold on, let me just search my history so I can tell everyone. I feel like I'm dick teasing everyone about the documentary. Hold on. London. This one, no. Is it? I don't think it'd be this one, right? This is Britain. Yeah, okay. I found it. It's all right. It's this one from Real Stories. So if you've watched documentaries on YouTube before, you may know that channel. Here, I found it. There you go. There's the link in the chat. I will post it on social media too. It's called Stabbed, Britain's Knife Problem. So give it a watch after this particular show. There you go. There's the title. And it talks all about how all throughout the UK, but also in Scotland. All right, let's do that. I'm sad to hear about that woman in the sinkhole. I think when they said the other day when it changed from a rescue operation to a recovery operation, that they had got some sort of intel to tell them that chance of life was probably extinguished, that they didn't have much hope. All right, let's talk about Susan Simpson. I want to see this. Let's go. No, not Brian Thompson. Let's head here. Let's go to KSAT. I want to talk about this. Susan Simpson DNA found on a saw that husband attempted to hide. Yeah, let's play the update here for you.
News we've been following for the last half hour or so. Numerous sources confirming to KSAT that investigators in the Suzanne Simpson murder case have told the Simpson family that DNA belonging to Suzanne was found on a saw.
That saw belonging to her husband, Brad Simpson, who is in jail, now charged with Suzanne's murder. Investigators are still searching for Suzanne nearly 2 months after she was last seen in early October. Meanwhile, Brad Simpson is scheduled to appear in court Monday on charges of murder in Suzanne's death.
I had a source tell me that Almost Park police called the family today and told them that they are still searching for Suzanne's body, but that her DNA, in fact, was found on that saw, a reciprocating saw that it's alleged Brad Simpson tried to hide from investigators. Now, as the story continues to unfold, you can follow along on air and online. We just published a brand new article earlier today detailing what's next for Brad and his lawyers as they get ready for his first court appearance next week. You can read or watch that story on our website, ksat.com, right now.
Okay, so the type of saw they are talking about is something like this, like a big turkey type saw where you cut the turkey meat, but like an industrial version. That is horrific. So they believe he maybe dismembered her. That's the first time I've heard that they might have thought she has been dismembered. That is brutal. Um, that would explain why they've been failed so far to track her down. They looked at that landfill, didn't find her. Then they checked around her home, didn't find her. They checked in the other county, didn't find her. So I hope she's not in pieces somewhere. I know. Right. So I hope no one's eating right now. So we're going to talk about this, okay? I don't want to get too graphic, but so you've already committed a murder, okay? You've already committed a murder, and you're like, okay, I have to get rid of the body. Do you think you could cut someone, like even in your, hey, I'm going to glue you to that. Could you cut someone up? And the reason I ask this is maybe you could cut a leg, maybe you could cut a hand or an arm. We've all cut beef with bones or chicken. But could you cut the squishy bits, like in this part, like your torso? Like when you do that, it's going to cause a hell of a mess, and it's going to be really, really gross. I don't know if you could do that. What is it called? Hey, Mike. A sawzall? A sawzall. I don't know. I heard these called a reciprocating saw, but I think reciprocating because it goes in and out. Thank you for that. I've never heard that. A sawzall. Okay. Not a name we use here. Hey, good to see you though. Yeah, I would have thought that that would be the barrier for a lot of people to dismember a person. Or do you think these people are so already deep into the crime? Okay, I've killed someone. Well, now I'm just gonna do the entire thing. Oh, well, I've already killed someone. I might as well cut them up. Do you think that's where they go? I don't know. Robbie T says we have a reciprocating saw, and I love it. I like the other name that Mike said, a sawzall. That's a great name. Yeah, it is gruesome, right? And we've seen so many this year. We've seen this one, the Manassas Park case. That one was apparently a dismemberment of his wife. The one in New York earlier this year, where they found the dismembered body under the bridge. So a lot of the killers have been taking to removing parts of their victim to make identification and traveling with them much easier. So it is a thing we're seeing a lot more. Some people will do it with no emotions. Well, I bring you something from Brad Simpson, okay? According to the affidavit that was on the screen a minute ago, he seems to have had control and anger issues over his wife. And I'll read you this statement that's in the affidavit. Let me grab it again. He talks about how he has taken her phone, and he was saying things like, "Oh, she was so, funny about it, and like I really wanted her, like I really wanted it." He wanted to see who she was talking to on the phone, but he didn't have that passcode to the device, so he locked himself out of her phone. I just want to find the correct quote for it. Here, this is the text message that he said. This is from the defendant, so this is from Brad Simpson. He wrote, "I still feel bad about tonight. I never should have grabbed her phone and drove off, but she was so protective of it. My dumb ass didn't know her passcode, so I got locked out and had to bring it back. I really have no interest in looking through her phone or anybody else's. These devices are the devil." Well, buddy, I don't believe you, because if you had no interest in looking through her phone, then why did you grab it and why did you try to unlock it? You're not really fooling anyone by telling people, "Oh, I just wanted to have a look at it. It was very pretty, so I decided to grab it out of her hands." No, you were being a controlling piece of crap, and you grabbed it out of her hands because you wanted to know who else she was talking to. Now, we've already talked about this type of stuff before. If you're at the stage where you can't trust your partner and their phone, then that's not a relationship anymore. That's just not. You're already at that stage where you need to be having that frank and honest conversation about trust, and that maybe it's the end of your relationship if you can't figure it out or work together. And if you have to do stuff like this, like, beat her up and take her cell phone, then, you're going down the wrong path. You need to go the other way. Hey, Carol Clark. Good to see you. You can't even make a hamburger patty? Texas Roadrunner says, maybe if done outside like a hog or a deer, but it's horrible for their children to know that he is responsible. He must have hated her so much. If you get to that point, what are you doing sticking around? Like, what are you doing? All you're going to do is end up in this situation where either one or the both of you are going to go crazy and probably either do something you regret or just make it worse for you, because it's going to go down that road, because the trust issues are going to keep happening. You're going to keep trying to get into each other's business. The sort of, oh, I wonder who she's talking to. Is she talking to a guy? She was late last night. Maybe she was, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just, you're already at that point of no return. Just either talk with each other and figure it out, or get a freaking attorney and walk away. Like, too many people being killed over dumb things. April B says, if you can't look at each other's phone, there's zero trust left and it's over. Exactly. And it goes both ways. It's not like this is just a male issue. This is a female issue too. So, like, we've all seen those videos on TikTok of the, what do they call it? The phone test, where you're like, you're supposed to do that sort of like this, like to your partner, and you're supposed to try grab their phone and see if they like get really like edgy about it. We've all seen that on TikTok. Yeah, hit the bell. I would appreciate it. So you can already see this is just a taste of that affidavit. I mean, it shows you that these issues were deep in that relationship, and he seemed to be very controlling. I mean, you can see that even in the moments, last moments alive that we know of for Susan, he had her in like a headlock and was like hurting her. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. Here, let's see. There's no signs of Suzanne Simpson being alive since the defendant physically assaulted her on the 6th of October. This has been verified from her cell phone records, financial records, family, friends, and co-workers. They say your affiant is aware that no credible tips or information were obtained from the active Texas Clear Alert, and law enforcement has been unable to locate Susan after large amounts of search efforts. So they've not been able to locate her at all. This was the sealed affidavit. Let's go back up here. Da, da, da. Yeah, he says here, this is where he reached out to his friend Cotter. Now, Cotter, James Cotter, he is the friend who was arrested. And he says here, the defendant texted Cotter, if you're in Bandera, you can haul ass and meet me at your house. I don't have much time. And then Cotter responded, I will be there in 40 minutes. The defendant responded, okay, make sure and leave all that shit into the pump house, especially the gun. So he was trying to get his buddy to help him cover up one, his crime, but also the firearms. They're saying here on the 8th of October at 8:31, Cotter texted the defendant the following text: get over here. I won't tell anyone. This was followed by the following text from Cotter: you're my brother. These texts were sent prior to the defendant's arrest on the 9th of October. So these guys were in a little bit of a cahoots trying to cover up whatever Brad Simpson had done to Suzanne. And they say here, they caught him here. They say they learned from Texas Rangers that they obtained information that the defendant was a member of the Bubble Bath Car Wash. Okay. They say they learned from Texas Ranger on the 7th of October at approximately 4:07 p.m. The defendant and his vehicle are observed on surveillance cameras at the Bubble Bath Car Wash located at 7102 San Pedro Avenue, San Antonio, Bexar County. Washing and cleaning the driver front side and the rear left passenger side of the passenger compartment. They said they later reviewed photographs of the defendant's vehicle and contents taken by Texas Rangers. They say they noted dried cement splashes were later located in the rear passenger compartment of the vehicle to include it was also in the truck bed. They said they also observed a photograph that showed a 30-ounce Clorox bottle located within the rear passenger compartment of the vehicle. The truck bed contained only the ice chest and no other items that were observed in previous surveillance photos. So they're saying that I hope he didn't put her in concrete and try and get rid of her. Cut her up and then set her into concrete and then put her in the trash or in the bush or something. Terrible. Hey, I will glue you to the microphone. Gayla says, I'm away back outside feeding the furry ones. Is that the name of your boyfriend, the furry one? Rachel says, it sounds like they have good evidence against him. I just wish they could find her for the family. Yeah. I don't know where she could be. We looked at the square kilometer or mile radius that he had time to get to, and it depends which timeline you believe. So there's two. There's one where he had a 2-hour timeline, which means he had an hour to go there and back, or it's the one before she was noticed to be missing the next day. He had like 18 hours. He could have gone anywhere in Texas, so it's difficult. Nanalana says, ping the furry one. Yeah. Berry is a female fox. Why'd you call her Berry? Rachel's, yeah, it sounds like he has good evidence. I agree. I think they're getting there. I think the smoking gun here would be if they could find her body, because then they could tie it all together. So if she has been put into concrete after finding those remains of concrete in the car, I mean, it's possible then they can tie the evidence. Okay, we have the reciprocating saw or the sawzall, and we also know that, we found those remains in the vehicle. Then you start tying together a much tighter case. They say here, they're saying this comes 2 days after Brad Simpson was indicted on multiple charges, including murder. In the paperwork for the indictment, that's what we're just reading, investigators mentioned for the first time that Brad Simpson allegedly attempted to hide a reciprocating saw. The tool is a handheld electric saw that can be used for various applications, including dismembering your wife, apparently. Don't put that on the sales advertisement. Can do logs, can cut through drywall, can also cut up your wife. I don't think that's going to be a great sales tactic at Christmas. I don't think so. The indictment came on Tuesday. He's facing the following charges according to records: murder in the first-degree felony, tampering with evidence with the intent to impair a human corpse. Hold on. Well, I'm guessing that comes from the saw. Hey, hold on. In Australia, that particular crime is translated to the removal of body parts from a corpse human being. So in Australia, that is the translation of that particular charge. So that would say to me that they believe he used that, you know, that saw to dismember her. That is brutal. He didn't he also destroy computers and cell phones in Bandera County? Yep. He not furry? Why did you wax him before he came over? How long did that take, Marilyn? You tell me. He's going to be very itchy later. April B says, look for any places that have new concrete. I agree. Nunalana says, my kitty, aka Pop, is on the back of my recliner facing the furnace vent. It got really cold here last night. Oh, send us a photo. Nunalana, I want to see a photo of the cat. Not your cat, the cat. Not the other thing that the young kids call cat. The one that's on the recliner. All right. I think that's very interesting that charge translates to removal of, parts from a corpse in Australia. Here, I'll show you. So this is the Victorian Act here. So that charge in Texas translates to this particular one here. Removal of body parts from the corpse of a human being. A person commits an offense if A intentionally removes a body part from the corpse of a human being. A person who commits offense against subsection 1 is liable to a level 6 imprisonment, 5 years maximum. Okay, so you can cut up a dead person and you get 5 years in jail, apparently. That was your dog's pet name? Cute. All right. Let me go to KHOU for a second. KH. I want to see what they have to say. Yeah, let's go down here. I want to see if they have a opinion on it. There we go. Notre Dame, no. Not that one. Just want to see if they have anything on Brad Simpson. No, I don't see any, not recently anyway. Seems like it's been a while before they've done anything on that subject. Interesting, because KHOU's been one of the big ones following it. Yeah, I don't see anything here. But I will show you this actually. This is pretty disgusting. It's the holiday season, right? And during the holiday season, we're always told to be kind, help people less fortunate than we are, and to support our local community if we can. If we're in a position where we can, do something. Go to your local Walmart. I don't know if you have this in America. Do you guys have the tree at your Walmart where it has the little cards on it and it has like, a female age 5, if from whatever county, and you can buy a gift for them from the store and then you put it under the tree with the tag on it, and then at Christmas they get it. We have that in Australia. So in Australia, I'll show you. Came up a gift tree. So it's called the Kmart Wishing Tree Appeal. It's not. They've been doing it since I was a little kid. So it's done by the Salvation Army, and you buy a gift, and I don't know if they still do it like that anymore, but they used to have like a tree, and they had little cards on it, and it would say, this little girl likes, I don't know, Barbie or whatever. She likes dinosaurs. No idea. But they had like a million different ones you could choose from, anywhere from like 1 years old to like 15. And you could choose something like a basketball or some sort of arts and crafts. And it was a great way to help children in a, that might not be able to get anything for Christmas because of their situation. I always loved it when I was a kid. So when I was growing up, my parents would make us give one of our presents to the tree. So we would have to choose something for a kid who was our age, and then we would have to give that present to the child from the tree. So that our parents did that every year. We got one less gift. It never affected us because we still got, cool things for Christmas. But it taught us that there's people in the world who are not as fortunate, and they need some help. They want to have a nice Christmas as well. Okay, it's called an angel tree. Angel tree. Okay, we don't call it that. We just call it the Salvation Army Christmas wishing tree appeal. I think angel tree is a lot smaller of a name. It's called the angel tree. I didn't know that. Okay, interesting. Yeah, it's a nice idea. Okay. So we all know, like, these are the type of things, if we're in a position, we try and help other people, right? I'm going to show you something now from Harris County that I just saw when I was looking for Brad Simpson. Suspect has been charged after 80-year-old veteran attacked outside of grocery store in North Harris County.
Story we first told you about last night involving an 80-year-old veteran who was attacked in a parking lot.
The Harris County Sheriff's Office says a suspect is now behind bars.
57-year-old Anthony Ray Boyce is charged with aggravated assault, serious bodily injury. The incident happened at a parking lot off of a food town off FM 1960 at Ella Boulevard in North Harris County. According to court documents, there appeared to be an argument between the two over a parking spot. That's when Boyce reportedly hit the man. He was taken to the hospital and is still in critical condition. Boyce is set to appear before a judge sometime tonight.
So that person didn't get the message about, trying to respect people and help people at this time of year, and decided that, you know, let me go hurt an 80-year-old veteran. Come on, everyone. 80 years old. Supposed to give him a hand up. Supposed to thank him for his service to the country and open the door for him, not try and steal and beat him up. Come on, people. Glitter says, this year I decided that even though it's a small help, I would buy memberships and do a few... That's very kind. That's very nice. Very, 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 very kind way of doing it for people. Yeah, so I haven't done it in a long time, the angel tree, because as an adult, I don't tend to do that anymore. But the charities at Christmas that I give money to, so Mrs. Ping always gives money to a local animal shelter that we have in the area that's a no-kill shelter, and they help all sorts of animals like koala, a dog, cat, echidna, whatever, right? And I give money to a men's homeless shelter in the city that focuses on getting men off the street. So that's who I don't think I've ever said that publicly on my show, but I've been doing it for a long time. I give some money to them, and I support them through the year too, not just at Christmas. But I like doing that because I don't know if you know this, but there's a lot of women shelters for women and children and things like that. But the men shelters are often dilapidated, not got any funding. They don't put men ever first in homelessness. It's often given to females and children. And it's, as someone who was homeless when I was younger, I know firsthand how bad it is out there for those people. Many times when I was trying to call around for somewhere to stay, I was told, "Oh, if you're a woman or a woman or had a child, I'd be able to get you somewhere like that. Like there's hundreds of beds where we could have got it for you. Oh, you're a guy and single? Not a chance. Not a chance. We have nowhere. Everywhere is full." So I try and help them out as much as I can. Yeah, so the no-kill shelter that Mrs. Ping always donates to locally, they do all sorts of things like that. They also run a kitten thing in spring. So they go to the factory area and they pick up all the cats who are female and they fix them and release them again. So then they can't have babies. So it reduces the population of stray cats. So they do that. So we like to help them out. Yeah, you don't have little ones anymore, so it's fun to shop for toys. I don't know, maybe we'll go back and do it again this year. I haven't done it in a long time. Probably not since I was a kid, but Glitter says it's an absolute great idea. I think next year what I'm going to do all year long when I can buy cat food, buy a little bit extra, then in December I'm going to donate the whole thing. Be careful with pet food. It goes off really quickly, especially the decent type of stuff. Just be careful with that. Rachel says, personally, I prefer more local charities for a donation. I do the local animal shelter and our local foster care house. It's a few miles away and they always need help. Yeah, so the animal one that we do is literally like 4 streets away, and they have one of those like an op shop where you go in there and they have like donated items or whatever. So they have the shop and then they have their like facility that's a little further away. So any proceeds from the shop go to the animals. So we often go there if we need certain things or stuff like that, if we can get it from there. It's a shame though. Years ago, Mrs. Ping, do you remember we got the duck? Remember we bought the duck? The duck hot plate? And remember we were really sad that we didn't buy the second one? So years ago we went to that charity and we bought, like a hot plate thing. So if you've got a hot pan or whatever, you can put it on the bench. We bought one that has a duck in it. It's the shape of a duck. And there was 2. And at the time I went, nah, we just need one. And I bought one. And for every year since, we've been very upset that we didn't buy its friend. Don't know why, but it's bugged us for years that we don't have the set of them. Mrs. Ping always is like, I wish we bought the second one. They're like $1. I don't know why we didn't buy both of them. Evil Alaska says donating your time is more valuable than dollars. Unfortunately, there was a place I used to donate to, but we can't do it anymore. So unfortunately, it's all we can do now. Although other parts of our family are involved in different charities and stuff. We had one, I don't think she does it anymore, but she used to go and fix, she's an engineer, and she used to go fix people's electronics for free that were in, in charities and things like that. Your sister, she used to do like the charity thing with fixing electronics and that. Yeah, so she used to fix electronics and that for homeless people. Or yeah, either they can be recycled or they could be given to homeless people or whatever. Yeah, so she used to do that. But unfortunately, the one we used to give time to back in years ago, it closed down. So I'm not able to do it anymore. Mrs. Laura T says hello to you. What is Trivet? Oh, a thrift. Yeah, so it's a thrift store that is for a shelter. Yeah. Yeah, so cool. I hope you have your own traditions. Instead of beating up veterans, I hope none of you are beating up veteran people. Yeah, all right. Let's go more true crime. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting because every Christmas I think of the tree, and I was like, I wonder if Americans have it. Actually, let's have a look. What's it called? An angel tree. It's Walmart. So it's done by the Salvation Army as well, which that's who it's done with in Australia as well. Interesting. So this is an older, actually, let's go to 13 news now from actually only a few days ago. If it'll play. Yeah.
13 News now partnering with the Salvation Army today for Adopt an Angel Day. This is a chance to help make the holiday season special for children and their families. And hey, we got Ashley Smith live in Chesapeake. Ashley, you're where everything is happening right now. What is going on?
Yeah, the Christmas Depot, Eugene. This is where, I said this before, the magic happens. And it really is. All of the toys and the gifts that have been collected so far, they're sorted here. And then later this month, they'll be distributed to local children and families in need. But this is where really all of the magic happens. You see some volunteers here behind me. They're starting to get things together. And we have a longtime volunteer that I want to bring in now. I'm going to ask Todd Savage to come on in. Todd, I understand you have been a part of the Angel Tree campaign for a long time now.
Yeah, probably over 30 years. I started as a volunteer. I got involved in the golf tournament, played in the golf tournament, then got asked to help organize the golf tournament. And then this is my second chairmanship of the advisory board. And it's just Salvation Army is just dear to my heart, all the things that we do all year round.
We were talking before we came back.
Featuring extended stories.
Ah, that's really cool. I had no idea that Americans did it too. Happy to hear that it was part of your lives as well. I will admit, I don't normally support big name charities like Salvation Army or World Vision or anything like that, because as far as I'm concerned, most of the time they're just a giant scam. I can't stand them. They just hoover up money and they spend it on, oh, we just opened a new $400 million, head office in Sydney. Well, where did all that money come from? Oh, from the wonderful donations that we get from people. Like, it's just, you go there, CEO's driving like a bloody BMW in the parking lot. It's like, I think there's sometimes better ways that your money can be spent to help people. But this one seems to be pretty good because you buy the toy for the kid and it supposed to go to the child. And I like that. Glitter says, I would stay away from Catholic charities this year. It might be different next year, but a lot of their money goes to the illegals crossing the border and they don't want to help citizens. Yeah, I think that's a completely different issue, but yeah, I get what you mean. But yeah, cool. I had no idea Americans did that. That's crazy. All right. All right, I'm going to take you to, we're going to stay in Texas, actually. So apparently a man, come on, load this up. A man shot, killed after confronting burglars at his Northwest Harris County trailer park. I'm going to let you watch the video, but I just want to find the article for it. All right, here we go.
Newscast. We are streaming live now on KHOU 11 Plus.
This evening, we're learning new details about a man who was reportedly shot and killed after confronting burglars in his own home. This happened around 12:30 in the morning at a trailer park on Champaign Circle, which is near Waller-Tomball Road and Trickle Road, just outside Tomball city limits. Now, according to the Harris County Sheriff's Office, a deputy was getting home when a man identified as Dustin Nelson approached him asking for help. EMS was called, but he later died at the scene. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says a burglary happened at Nelson's trailer, and he was shot while confronting an unknown number of suspects. At this time, investigators are working to speak to witnesses and get in touch with Nelson's roommates. If you have any information on this case, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers.
And here's the article for it. It says a man shot and killed early Saturday morning in Northwest Harris County after Sheriff Ed Gonzalez said he confronted an unknown number of burglars in his home. This happened around 12:30 a.m. at a trailer park on Champaign Circle. And they're saying investigators said a deputy was just getting home when the victim, identified as Dustin Nelson, asked him for help. EMS were called to the scene and the man lost consciousness. He was pronounced dead at the scene. They said there's no word on a suspect. Investigators were working to speak with witnesses in the area. The sheriff said investigators were working to get in touch with the victim's roommate, who was not at the scene when deputies arrived. They said a lot of questions right now, but not too many answers at this point. They said if anyone has information about what happened, you're asked to call the HCSO at 713-274-9100 or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-8477. I think that's like everyone's worst nightmare, right? That you're at home, a burglar gets in, and you're shot and killed. It's really horrible.
Sergeant Michael.
Let's watch the update here from HCSO.
Sergeant Michael Ritchie, Harris County Sheriff's Office homicide, MICHAELRITCHIE. All right. Early this morning, Harris County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to an in-service call here at this location. This is kind of a trailer park neighborhood in the outside the city limits of Tomball, and actually a deputy was arriving home when he observed a male with an apparent gunshot wound asking for help. He made contact with the male. Shortly after making contact with that complainant that was shot, he lost consciousness. EMS arrived, and the complainant died on scene. At this time, my investigators are here speaking to witnesses and also surveying the scene and trying to figure out exactly what happened. The complainant right now is unidentified. We're not 100% sure if he lived here. We're trying to confirm if and where, if he lived here, and if he did, where he lived. So again, a lot of questions right now, not too many answers.
Many questions, not too many answers after the man died. Yeah, not safe in your own home. I mean, come on, guys. Everyone has to just try and be a bit nicer to people. Everyone's stressed at this time of year. Everyone's stressed coming out of Thanksgiving because they're like, oh my God, I bought a turkey that was $184 because it was like 90 pounds and it blew my credit card up after I bought everything else for Thanksgiving. I get it. I wish people were a bit kinder to everyone going through the holiday season. I hate to hear of any more deaths of people. Yeah, it sounds like they don't even know where he lived. They're just like, oh yeah, he came and asked a deputy for some help, and then he just sort of died. He just sort of passed out. He just died. Actually, someone's calling, messaging me saying ping, 25 minutes ago. 5 dead in horrific murder S-word inside Georgia apartment. What? What is this? Okay. Thank you to that person who sent this. They're saying 5 people, including 2 young children, were found dead in an apartment complex late on Saturday night in DeKalb County in Atlanta. Police are investigating the incident, which occurred at the Vineyards at Flat Shoals apartment complex, as a DV-related murder S-word. Cops were called to the building after the shooting happened around 7:30 p.m. Officers found 5 bodies at the apartment, each bearing gunshot wounds. The victims included 2 women aged 43 and 26, a 32-year-old man, and a 5-year-old girl, and a 1-year-old baby boy. Damn. Here, let's play the update here.
Good evening, and thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Jennifer Bellamy. We begin with breaking news right now out of DeKalb County. Police tell us 5 people are dead, including 2 children, the youngest only a year old. Police say around 7:30 tonight, they went to the 2100 block of Vineyard Walk. They say they found 5 victims, a 43-year-old female, 32-year-old male, 26-year-old female, 5-year-old female, and a 1-year-old male, all dead from gunshot wounds. Right now, they are saying this is being investigated as a murder-suicide. We do have a crew that is on the way to the scene right now, working to gather new information for you. We'll bring you those details as soon as we learn more.
Terrible. Oh my god. That little kid. It's like, what are they, like 5 and 1 or something? Where is that story? No, that's not it. A 5-year-old girl and a 1-year-old baby boy. Let me see what else I can find about this. 7:30 p.m. Yeah, 1 hour ago out of 11 Alive in Atlanta. Right here.
Good evening, and thank you
That's
for
the
being
same
with us.
update. Sorry, let me pause that. Yeah, they're saying police
The
are
search
on the
for Assailant
scene.
killer now in its fourth night and turning up new clues. The suspected
Shut
gunman.
up. There we go. They're saying DeKalb County Police said officers responded to the 2100 block of Vineyard Walk on Saturday night to do a welfare check. When officers were able to get inside, they said they found 5 people dead inside the unit. The apartment complex is Vineyards at Flat Shoal. Flat Shoals? Yeah. A 43-year-old woman, 32-year-old man, 26-year-old woman, and a 5-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy were all found dead from gunshot wounds inside the apartment. It's unclear who the suspected gunman was at this time. 11 Alive is working to learn more information. They're saying, watch the latest on what we know in the 11 p.m. newscast. So they're waiting for an update. Or it's already past 11. Let's see. That seems like the latest article. This happened within the last hour or two. So that's a new story out of DeKalb County. Terrible. I don't have much more than this, apparently. This news just broke in the last 25 minutes. So just since we've been on the air. Yeah, it sounds like it. A 43-year-old woman, so possibly here. Hold on, let me do some napkin math. 43 minus 26. Maybe. So if the 43-year-old woman was the 26-year-old woman's mother, just say, she would have been 17 at the time that she had the child. I mean, it's very possible. And then it can't be the son because 42 minus 32 equals 10 years old. So 11 years old. So it's 43 minus 32. No, they'd be like 7. Something like that. 7 years old, 8 years old. Not very old. No. 43 minus 32 is 11. So yeah, no, that can't be true. But it might be true for the woman and the 26-year-old woman. Maybe. They'd have to be 17 at the time she gave birth to her daughter. So who is the gunman? The 32-year-old man? I mean, I hate to always pinpoint it on a brother, but that's what the statistics tell us, and we went through them the other week, that most gun crime against family members or females it's like overwhelmingly 95% done by a man. So we have to go with the what the majority tells us. But who knows? Could be a woman too. Does happen. Yeah, 5-year-old girl, 1-year-old boy. So horrific. It really is. Well, it's a good guess. Narcissist and psychopaths in the family. Could be. Sounds like grandma, daughter, and the kids. Yeah. I know, right? It's a family who won't make it to the to the new year, 2025. I'm guessing it's the man because it said it was a murder S word. Well, no, like as much as yes, I think that probably is what happened. You can't just say because it's a murder S word that it was a man. There's been heaps of stories where it's been a woman, including, I can tell you, the one earlier this year where a deranged ex-girlfriend abducted her ex-boyfriend and drove him like 100 miles from home and then killed him and killed herself. So it does happen. Or an aunt. That's a good point. Could be an aunt. Right. The math doesn't make a lot of it does sound like a 26-year-old woman with a 32-year-old boyfriend. It definitely sounds that way. And they're saying it's a murder S word, so they must have found someone with a firearm that was deceased inside of the apartment. Otherwise, they wouldn't know it was a murder S word. They would just say it's a murder. Unless the mother did it, yeah, that's an interesting angle. I don't think I can find too much else about this. It just broke, like, just now. You know what's sad? Apparently, about 4 years ago, there was another one that happened in the same county in Georgia. Yeah, when I was Googling around trying to find more information, yeah, look at
We have
this.
an update on breaking.
4 dead in apparent triple murder S word near Stone Mountain. And this happened about 5 years ago. So, unfortunately, not the first mass shooting in Georgia. Yeah, I don't see anything right now. Yeah, I know they have a bit of bad crime. Let me check out DeKalb County on Twitter. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Diane. I'll have a look at that in a second. That's in Palm Springs, California. Hey, Palm Springs. We have a friend. We have a viewer who lives there. I don't know if she's here right now. Is Cheryl Huffman here tonight? Cheryl Huffman, if you're out there, are you in the chat? Are you watching somewhere? If Cheryl's here, let me know, because apparently this happened in your hometown. Carol says mental health issues are rampant. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look at DeKalb County. Hold on. Yeah, Fox 5 Atlanta, 2 kids, 3 adults found dead in a DeKalb County apartment. Yeah, this is breaking everywhere right now. WSB TV has it. Yeah, it's starting to go everywhere. Yeah, another story. 2 kids, 3 adults found dead in the Cobb County apartment. But yeah, just no more information. Said there was 5 victims in total with gunshot wounds. Let's have a look. Vine Walk, Saturday apartment on Vine Walk in DeKalb. DeKalb County. I don't know how you pronounce it. Let's see. Let's see if I can get a map. Yeah, Vineyard at Shoal Flat. That's it there. Okay. So it's these apartments right here. It's Vineyard at Flat Shoal. That's it right there. Oh my god, they have a Bitcoin ATM? Interesting. Yeah, Vineyard Walk. Can we go down there? No. I don't think it'll allow us. Sorta. It's through here, but we can't get in. It's like a private, little area. It's down in here, Vineyard. So, yeah, Flat Shoals Road. Looks like a pretty new development. Pretty nice. Welcome home to murder. No, not to murder. We don't want people to ID out where we are. Please blur our sign, which is an advertisement. But yes, please blur it. Yeah, I can't take you in there, unfortunately. It won't let me. But yeah, that's the area right there. Just see if we can go back up. Wait, if we go around the back of it, can we see? No, it's all forested. Oh my god, they have a BP. Yeah, can't see anything from the back side either. Doesn't look like it. No. Pretty place. Very pretty area. But yeah, it won't allow us to go in. Google, why don't you go up here? It's funny when you look here. Look how the trees change throughout the season. Watch this. And now it's all green. That looks like when it opened, right? like the balloons. It's almost like they had like an opening day, you know, when they sell apartments and that type of thing. It's almost like when they made it. Oh, it's from October 2019. Jeez. Google needs to get back into Georgia and do new street maps. This one was from 2022, so 3 years later when it was a little bit older. That is yeah, it's a good thing, not a bad thing, Glitter. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it looked like an opening day, like when they sell the properties or the families first move in. No other updates right now. When I find some, I'll bring them to you. But let's head here. NYPD releases new pictures of healthcare boss's assassin during his getaway in the back of a cab. Here we go. He's wearing the face diaper again. He's wearing the mask again, pretending to be a ninja. Pretending to be a ninja. There you go. So these are the new photos apparently from Crime Stoppers. Tell me what you think, people. Tell me what you think. Is it the same guy? Is it a different guy? Is this all a big mystery? Should we call Scooby Doo? Yeah, he obviously changed it, you know, because he's like, they're looking for a guy with a black mask. If I change mine to white, nobody will ever guess that it was me. I will get away with the crime. I will be home free. They're looking for a guy with a black mask, not a white one. I don't know. Is that what it is? A silicon type of mask? Let's see. Do we have another view? Let's have a look. I don't know. It almost looks like one of those ones you get when you go to the hospital. You know when you go to the hospital and they give you those really bad masks, those ones that they sort of unfold like a concertina, and they sort of, you know, that type of thing. But yeah. Yeah, I know. He's looking straight at the camera. Same guy. Nice try, buddy, changing your mask. Glitter says before it was the other kind of mask that he was wearing around his neck and could lift it up. Yeah. I don't know why he changed it, but sure. He's definitely yeah, he's probably checking out the cab. But if you take a cab, they've all got cameras now. All of them. They say for driver protection, but and he's got a different jumper on too. A completely different coat. He's got a puffer jacket on, but it's a different type. See, in the background, he's got like a checkered type one. What they call like quilted. They call that style quilted padding. It's not like the normal one that's got the ribbed that has those little like, you know, like banding. This is what they call quilted, where you get the squares. I know because I have one. I have one that has these squares on it too. There you go, Mr. Stare into a camera. A full face professional mask. Oh, like those Halloween ones, like the entire thing. You really think so? Yeah, very different jacket. Yeah. Um, you like one of those ones that they you put it over your head and you wear like the face makeup to make it look real. Like Face Off, like no, they found the other jacket apparently. Hey, Jeanette. Should have put glasses on at work for Clark Kent, says Superman. Ah. Yeah, like a latex mask. You really think so? That'd be very creepy. Maybe he watched Face Off before doing the murder. Let me see if I can find anything on anyone speculating about that. Hold on. I don't know if I don't see if I see anything like that. Yeah, just let me look up something. Apparently there was a company that did these type of face masks where you could wear these, what they call hyper realistic type of face mask. Let's have a look. Yeah. Hyper realistic mask full a fifth of the people, says researchers. There you go. It looks like they cut their face off. That's what it looks like. They say modern hyper-realistic masks can be so convincing that people often can't distinguish them from a real face. The latex mask can cost around £1,000, and experts say they could be increasingly exploited by criminals as a disguise. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Do you think it could be something like that? It looks so freaky. It looks like they chopped his face off and just like left it on the counter. I should pay it. Yeah, I don't think they give a stuff about what I'm talking about, mate. I don't think they give a crap about me. They're gonna be like, why is this Australian guy calling me? They'll be like, what does he know about America? Glitter says it's like they did with Colin Farrell in the Penguin. Yeah, a little bit. James Avery says, I think people may have watched lots of episodes of The Blacklist or The Black Mirror. Black Mirror. Who is that masked man? It's obviously me. I made it all the way back to Australia. April B says, weren't people having a contest, a look-alike, weird, creepy, just plain? Yeah, it's the one in the middle for me, the Asian male. It sort of makes me feel like someone just chopped off his head. Good to see you, Jay. How's it going? Sorry, I wasn't being aggressive towards you. I just was a bit shocked that you're like, call it in. I'm like, I don't think they care. I think they more want to know where he is. I think that's more like their search effort right now. They just want to find out where he's located. I don't know. You know, the thing that got me with this guy, right? And I saw this when I first looked at the photos, like that smiling photo, this one here. Something about his chin seems off to me. And it did the entire time I watched this coverage. His chin, and I hope hope it doesn't come out and says this guy, this is his natural chin. But I don't know, just something really irked me about the way his chin is structured. And I sort of thought that the other day, but I was like, nah, there's no way. But yeah, just something about it. It almost looks very pointy, or like it doesn't follow the way the rest of his bone structure is on his face a little bit. I don't know. Something irked me about it. Only 10. No, it's 50 grand now. It's $50,000 now for the reward money. 50,000. Yeah, that jacket's 100% different. Where did this guy keep his entire like clothing line? He has it somewhere. Yeah, there's something about that chin and maybe even the nose a little bit on the front of the nose, but who knows? He's going to get arrested and he's going to look exactly like that photo, and everyone's going to go, "Ping, you were just seeing things that aren't there." You know who it is? Is it you? It must be you. We're going to get 50 grand for you. Oh, it's 60,000 now. They keep upping it. Money keeps appearing from nowhere. Is it really 60 grand now? Hold on. Oh, it is. You guys are 100% right. Last time I saw it, it was the FBI offering 50,000, but they're saying here on Fox News, yeah, 60. It's between both of them. Okay, I get you. Yes, 10,000 for the NYPD, 50,000 from the FBI. There you go. There you go. Go get it. I heard that everyone's not going to dob him in, so yeah, they can just give his entire salary for the year. All right, I promise I won't. We'll have like a pool competition where everyone can guess a name, and then everyone gets 10 grand each. Danny Mitchell says, "You think Starbucks employees wouldn't know a mask?" I don't know. What do you think about the person at the counter who he was flirting with? Don't you think they would have been like, "Wow, that is such a great latex mask. I'm so turned on. Take down your face mask and show us." Like I think maybe that's different. Maybe the gunman is Hannah. I no, I don't think this person looks like Japanese or yeah, Japanese. I don't think this person looks very Japanese in my opinion. Storage lockers, like in Men in Black, yeah. Oof. No wonder people are like not calling in. You know, I was saying earlier in the show that he was in a city of millions of people in a morning when people are going to work, walking their dog, you know, whatever. There had to have been thousands of people that saw this guy outside of their apartment, going through the park in downtown, leaving leaving the city, heading to wherever. And there's been no call in about where he got to after getting to the Port Authority. Like nothing. Or nothing publicly anyway. Who goes to Starbucks and only buys our water? A very thirsty person who doesn't like Starbucks coffee, which I don't like Starbucks anyway. 10 million, that's insane. Why would they notice him? I don't know. You'd have to ask a Starbucks person and tell them, why did you find him attractive? Tell us on a scale of 10. How turned on were you by this assassin? Tell us out of 10. Starbucks has really good water. Yeah, I don't know. I don't go to Starbucks. They don't have them here anymore. About 10 years ago, they were everywhere, and there was like one on every corner. Now there's like 2 in the entire country. Oh, in NYC. Why would they notice him? Well, we notice people throughout our lives, right? When you walk down the street, you're like, hey, there's that guy that's always wearing the red hat. I've seen him before. People do recognize people from day to day. Yeah, power bars is the way they described it. Could be the only place open at that time of the morning around there. A lot of cafes open early for those people that are getting out there. Do you think America is better than Australia? At coffee? No. Rachel says, I think people in the city just go about their business and don't pay attention to people unless there is a reason. In the largest city in the US, well, you would think, though, that after the news came out, like, I don't know, our brains act like computers. We look around, we take notice of things. If you saw some weird dude on your bus, I think you would maybe know. Yeah. In coffee, no. Melbourne has some of the best coffee in the world, so that's the only thing we're good at. They're like, Melbourne, what is your claim to fame? And we're like, yeah, we have really good coffee. They're like, do you have great hospitals or transport? Do you have great buildings and art? And no, we have really good coffee though. You can get a coffee anytime or day or night, but that's about it. People poop on the subway. Yuck. Yuck. I hope that trend does not come here to Australia. I don't want people pooping in the train. Yeah. Texas Roadrunner says on bike people would probably think he's a bike courier. There are a lot of bike couriers. That is a point. I don't know. I just would have thought with so much publicity, you've got like it's on every TV channel, hours a day. You know, people be like, "Hey, I thought I saw that guy." Let's go to. I need to grab something, so I need to tell you. I need you to watch something. Hold on. Let's go down. No, not that one. Nope. Okay. Let me see if I can get you an update for this one. I gotta go look for a different link for something. Yeah, let's do this one. This is the one I was talking about earlier. This is not about the update, but it's very interesting. If I can get it to load. All right. Yeah, so they produced this video yesterday about why people people doing channels like this won't help in the investigation. I'm just trying to find the correct video because you guys can have a listen to it. If it'll play. It was on NBC. Sorry, I hate that there's dead air, but I'm just trying to get this video to pop up. And it's not going to. Okay. Fine, you have to watch this one.
Tonight, crucial new evidence in the manhunt for the suspect in the targeted killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. This backpack, found in Central Park after air and ground searches, police believe is linked to the shooter seen in surveillance video. Two senior law enforcement officials say no gun was found inside. What was found? A jacket and Monopoly money. The NYPD says nothing in their investigation so far suggests the killing was related to Thompson's personal life.
The net is tightening, and we're going to bring this person to justice.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams says details like whether or not police have an ID on the shooter are being closely held.
We don't want to release that now. If you do, you're basically giving a tip to the person we're seeking, and we do not want to give him an upper hand at all.
But there are new details about the suspect. New York City's chief of detectives providing a timeline based on video footage to reporters. The shooter arrived in New York on Sunday, November 24th, and was caught on camera at the Port Authority bus terminal near Times Square. The bus he took originated in Atlanta, though it's not clear when the shooter got on, given that there were several stops on the way to New York. The shooter then took a taxi to the area where the shooting occurred. It was there for about a half hour before heading to a hostel on the Upper West Side, where he possibly provided a fake ID to check in. He checked out of the hostel on Friday, November 29th, but checked back in the next day. While at the hostel, the suspect had two roommates who say he kept his mask on even when eating, lowering it only when taking a bite of food. And according to a senior law enforcement official, in this one moment,
Maybe he was worried about getting like bird flu, and he was like, I have to only lower my mask when I'm eating. You applied to be the new United Health CEO. You might have to fight the guy that they already gave the position to, but like, they already killed one. It can happen again. Yeah, monopoly money. Well, I think it's a commentary on the industry. But anyway, Laura T. Yeah, what? You will stick with Maxwell House coffee. Got it on super sale, 36 ounces for $6.95. You'll be caffeinated for years to come. We're gonna replace it with Folgers crystals and see if you notice. That's what we're gonna do. I think he checked out of that hostel and then checked back in. Maybe he stayed with his accomplice, the other guy. Hey Mike. Mike says, when they identified the Night Stalker on LA with his driver's license and picture, a mob was beating his head in with a pipe within 2 hours. NYPD Mayor and Jessica, yeah. I don't remember that one, but it wouldn't surprise me if a mob found the dude faster than everyone else. Evil Alaska says, looks like Hannah the missing. Yeah, she's in Mexico. And she's living her best life over there. At least we don't have kangaroos. Yeah, you do, though. You do. There was a kangaroo that escaped from someone's home in Texas, and they had to chase it for like 3 days. It happened like a couple of weeks ago. I don't know, how much is 32 ounces in grams? 32 ounce to grams. How? Oh, it's almost a kilo of coffee. Yeah, you really will be caffeinated forever. Richard Ramirez, yeah. Wait, what was that other one we're talking about? That's what I drink. Mamma Mia likes it too. Yeah, I think that if they put his name out there and a better image than this, it'll be like that. He's in Philadelphia on, down near the train station. Everyone's gonna mob that area. Let's see. Vanilla Ice had a kangaroo. That doesn't surprise me. He's very, flamboyant. Here, I'm going to show you the kangaroo. Yeah. 28th of October.
Start in the United States, where Donald Trump is right now speaking.
No, not Donald Trump. We don't want that. Here, this one. They said in Durango, in Colorado. Sorry, I thought it was in Texas, but there's been a few of them. They saying they received a 911 call from a person who spotted a baby kangaroo hopping down the street. Australia invading America. They say, "Hi, so I know this is going to sound completely insane, but I was downtown and I was just walking home from work, and there is like a baby kangaroo with a diaper on, like wandering around Main Street." Yeah, that would be a weird, yeah, there you go. You can see they actually caught it. I don't know if it's a joey or... They say it is legal to own a red kangaroo in Colorado. An officer that responded to the call said, "This is one of the best calls of my career so far." We have to find the action body cam. Come on. Where's the action body cam? All right, let's go to CNN. They have it apparently. If it'll load. Come on, Durango.
Hi. So I know this is going to sound completely insane, but I was downtown and I was just walking home from work. There is like a baby kangaroo with a diaper on, like wandering around Main Street.
Police in Durango, Colorado responded to that 911 call, body cam capturing the rest.
Come here.
The red kangaroo was allegedly someone's pet. It's legal to own a red kangaroo in Colorado, according to Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
It's your mommy.
An officer that responded to the call said, quote, "This was one of the best calls of my career so far." The kangaroo was eventually recovered by its owner. The animal was not harmed.
What?
I don't know what video we just stopped, but that crazy woman was like macing a guy in his cab. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, the kangaroo's drunk. It was like, "I've had too many opossums." No, we don't have the same ones as you guys. We have these ones. I'll show you. So you guys have the opossum. We have the same animal, but it has no O at the start of the word. So, we just got to be different. So we have these ones. They sort of look similar, but more fluffy. More fluffy than your version. There you go. That's a bush-tail possum. So you can... They look a bit weird. They make some very strange noises when they're on your roof, but they're all right. Owner should get a ticket for drunk and disorderly kangaroo. Don't know. Never eaten a possum. Probably tastes like crap because eat they eat all sorts of stuff actually, but I don't think you can eat them. Jeanette says my sister lives in London and saw a wallaby hopping down her street a few years ago. They live wild in a few places in the UK. So they exported all the criminals from the UK, sent them to Australia, and then just went, you stay over there, but take all the kangaroos back with you to the UK. Glitter says, well, yours is way cuter than ours. Ours are disgusting. Without context, that statement could be applied to a couple of things. Rachel says, yours are much cuter. That's what all the ladies say. They have the same face, a little bit. Jodo says, tell that to the people of West Virginia. They eat them and everything else. Yeah, I heard they eat like roadkill and stuff like that. That's cool if you like that. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but so there's two types that live here. So we have that one. That's the big fluffy one. Here he is. That's with a baby on its back. And then we have the other one, which is a ringtail. The bushy ones are really big, almost the size of a small dog. But the other ones are really tiny. Yeah. These are the other ones. These are called ringtail possum, and they're really little. They're not not very big. So they have pointy noses. Are they those white things that you see? They're like a white color. Hold on. They're weird looking. They almost look like a rat, like a giant rat. They're not that cute, even with the babies. I could see why people are like, afraid of them or whatever. What are you doing? Come here. There you go. Yeah, they almost look like rats. Like the hair on them doesn't like do them any favors. Yeah, they're pretty gross, right? They do have sharp teeth. Jeanette says we also have naturalized parrots living in a few areas, even scorpions. We have scorpions in Australia, but they're only like that big. They're really tiny. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Who sent you over here? Did Trish send you all over here? Is that what happened? She's like, go hang out with Ping. I don't know. I don't know anything about them. You've been waiting for one to move into your garden? Do they just do that? Do they have to pay rent, or do you need like a contract of some sort? Yeah, hey Catherine, good to see you. Thanks. It must have been from Trish. Trish must have put up a post saying, "Go hang out with Ping." So for those of you who don't know, a lot of people do. I started off over there. So I worked with Trish for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I worked with her, and when they got bought out by Othram, just for some reasons, it just didn't make any sense for me to stay over there, and I opened up my own channel. But I have my YouTube channel to thank from her. She's the one who got me started on YouTube. So there you go. For the new people who don't know. Let's see, you did? Oh, okay. Let me have a look. Since we're talking possums, apparently. Homer the opossum, an Alaskan stowaway. So put a baby on somewhere. He's now in an Oregon zoo. They're saying a long, strange trip it's been for Oregon Zoo's newest nocturnal resident after his mum's lengthy stowaway sea voyage and months on the lam. And then he had a plane ride back to Oregon. They're saying Homer the opossum is finally settling into his new home at Oregon Zoo. Where were they found? They were found in Anchorage. And one of the Joeys known as Homer arrived in Oregon last month. Wow. So how'd they get to Oregon? How'd they get to Anchorage? They were on a boat or something? It doesn't tell us how they got on there. Oh, here. They stowed away on a cargo container bound for Homer, Alaska. Wow. So they chose the wrong boat to make a home on. And unfortunately now he lives in a zoo. Let's see. He's very nom nom nom. He's like nom 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 nom. Owls hiss and eat pet food. Isn't that what they just fed that one? He had like something in his hand. It looked like cat biscuits. That's what it looked like. Oh, Ping, Trisha's Nightbot says to come over here. Yeah, I know it does, but I think nights where she doesn't do a show, she will often put up a post saying, come over here and hang out over here with me. I thought it was cute. He's all like, nom, 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 nom. Evil Alaska says, only way to get goods is via barge. Yeah, you guys have to import everything, right? Because there's nothing up there. All right. What time is it? I don't even have my phone. We're just before 5 o'clock local time. We're actually been on for almost over 2.5 hours right now. Glitter says, that's really nice of her to do. Yeah, she tries to help me out. Even though I left them over there. But if you go back about a year and a couple of months from now, in her videos, you'll see me. I was on there every Sunday, and then when she was traveling or whatever, I used to do the show for her. So you would see me on Web Sleuths if you go back in their archives. Evil Alaska says, we don't really have them here. They are invasive. Well, this one definitely invased your area. He definitely did that. All right. That was an interesting topic to start winding up the show, apparently about possums. Although I really want to know about this one. Woman caught on camera pepper spraying Uber driver. Okay. Yeah, let's go to Eyewitness News, ABC 7, New York. This happened a while ago, but it for some reason popped up on that video.
Seemingly unprovoked attack on an Uber driver caught on camera. That driver says he hadn't said a word to his two passengers when one of them suddenly lunges forward. Look at that, pepper spraying him in the face. That woman now facing charges. On the Upper East Side, here's Eyewitness News reporter Kimberly Richardson.
This is where she climbed over.
Yep.
The woman right there, Jennifer Gilbo, riding in Shoel Mahmoud's car when out of nowhere, she appears to snap, lunging at the Uber driver, dousing him with pepper spray. It was burning you.
Yes, it's burning last 2 hours.
Shoel picked up Jennifer and a friend on West 46th Street, but when they got to 65th and Lex, things quickly went south early Wednesday morning. What? Shoel insists he hadn't said a word to the ladies. The other passenger appears just as stunned. Done what? Repeatedly asking her friend why she was doing this. Jennifer would only say, get him out. Get him out. In the first few seconds, Shoel tells me he tried to get out, but his seatbelt was on.
I'm like kind of hanging out in the car, so I just take it out the buckle and close my eyes and get out. And then I realized my car is running. I jump in and put in park position and get out.
Talk about entitlement. These crazy biatches, like, you get out the effing car. Like, it ain't your car, it's his car. You get out. You don't like the situation, you leave. You don't get the right to dictate, any kind of, like, dynamics here. You don't like what's going on, get the F out. Like, some people are just so entitled, it's ridiculous. Yeah, she can get the F out. The tolerance for other people seems to be at an all-time low. She was on something. Could be a few things. The other one was like, "Why am I friends with her? This happens every time we go out." Yeah, I don't know if that excuses your actions, or does it excuse anyone's actions because you've been drinking? Well, like, we're like, that guy, he was arrested this weekend, punched his wife in the face, and we're like, "Oh, but he was drunk. It's all good. He's a nice guy when he's not drinking. It's all good." No, we don't do that. So we can't give her an excuse if she's been drinking or whatever. She's still being a jerk. Sometimes we have to call out women too and call them out when they're a jerk. So she's definitely that. Or at least in this particular situation. I don't know what she was. It doesn't say if she was drunk or not. Let's see. Let me go here. Woman caught on. Yeah, let's see if we can find the article. Yeah, let's go to The Guardian. This will be the last story for tonight. It's over 1 month old. New York woman who pepper sprayed Muslim Uber driver indicted for hate crime. So her name's Jennifer. She's 23. Shown on video assaulting the driver while reciting a prayer in Arabic. They're saying a New York woman who pepper sprayed a Muslim Uber driver while he was praying has been indicted by the Manhattan District Attorney on hate crime charges. They say she's shown in surveillance video repeatedly pepper spraying her Uber driver. The assault took place in August on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, near the corner of East 65th Street and Lexington Avenue, shortly after Mahmoud began reciting a prayer in Arabic. They're saying the driver called 911 and Jennifer was arrested. They're saying Jennifer was officially charged in the state Supreme Court indictment with 1 count of assault in the second degree as a hate crime, assault in the third degree as a hate crime, and aggravated harassment in the second degree. As alleged, Jennifer senselessly assaulted the driver while he was just doing his job. Well, they're saying here, we are aware of the actions of this former employee and we don't condone this type of behavior, according to the, what is this company? What is dpagan.com? I don't know what that is. Let me look. dpagan.com. I have no idea. I Google it. I just get stuff about paganism. Yeah, I no idea. It's a public relations and marketing firm, dpagan Communications. They need a less confusing name. They have a very bad Google review, probably from people. Yeah, hire better people. Jennifer was a hot mess. 0 stars, bad business all around. Looks like some people tried to review spam them. Here's the website for her old employer. It looks like a website you'd purchase. Like, you went to a website company and they're like, here is our most generic technology / very, savvy website. You can purchase it $29.95. We have many, many stock photos for you. It looks very professional. We can put any of these words in here that you'd like. It doesn't even look like something customized. It looks like they bought it off a shelf. All right. Let's get out of here for the night. Hey, by the way, I'd like to thank a couple of people who supported the channel. If I can refresh this. Yeah. My friend Avalon Apples, you are so kind, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Yesterday, I don't want to use their name. They don't like when I do that. But that person who donated yesterday, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Betty C, thank you so much for that one. This list is getting quite long for the raffle this Friday. This Friday we're going to do it. It's going to be great. So we're going to actually do the spinning wheel thing, and we're going to draw that raffle for the custom Nights with Ping hoodie, 1 of 1. We're making one only, and that's it. I don't even get to keep it. I'm sending it to one of you guys, and that'll be it. We're not making any more, and we're going to do that on Friday. There's a river outside of our hotel. So I'm going to go stream live from that river, and we're going to have a live stream out in the water. We're going to sit at the edge of the water and do that. We use the spinning wheel here to divvy out chores. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. Guys, I love you all so very much. Thank you all for the support, and subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. I'm on every night. I don't take nights off I think we've had 3 nights off all year, and we just passed 500 live streams on this channel. Can you believe that? 500 live streams. We did that a couple of nights ago. Thank you, Jeanette. It was so nice to see you again. It was great to see my friend Avalon Apples earlier. Great to see all my regulars in the chat tonight as well. Thank you very much to all of you. It's really, really nice. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I'm just catching up with some messages. Hey, Kaliza. Hope you get some rest. I think we will when we go on holiday. I'm probably not going to be doing 2.5-hour live streams. When I'm in Tasmania, they'll be pretty short because we don't have a laptop or computer system. I don't have my camera, that type of thing. So I can't just flick through news articles because I don't have a PC to do it. We'll probably be just on the mobile phone. All right. I love you all. I actually have to go. Hey, are we still in time to go? Or are we a bit screwed? What time is the one that's hard to get to open till? Yeah. We got to go pick up stuff for the trip. Yeah, we got to go. I'm running late. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, Sunday Nights with Ping. Tomorrow night, I'm going to show you the samples that we finally got photos back of the samples of the hoodies. So they did like a mock-up. I'm going to show you those tomorrow night. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Hopefully more news tomorrow on all the cases that we're talking about. See you then. Good night.